Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today we've got a really exciting, I didn't expect the stickers to explode all over the place, so we've got something really awesome to share with you guys. So I have a feeling, I have not been in here yet, but because of the information I got about this knife, I have a feeling that this is going to cause quite the stir, quite the excitement in the community. So I will have, the best information that I have as far as a release date. I'll have that down in the description, right? I don't know it at the time of this recording, but by the time you're seeing it, I'll at least be able to put something in the description, as well as a link to where it will be eventually, maybe. So there you go. But thank you so much to Numb Knifeworks for sending this in. Actually, I believe he had a conversation with somebody who pushed him in my direction and said, "This, you definitely need to." So that made it very intriguing. So I'm excited to find out what this is. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. So what do we have here? Numb Knifeworks. Brand new company to me. Nick's Unhinged Mechanical Brain. I like that. That's great. The model is called the Cornerstone. Handle is Thai in black DLC. We have a black DLC S90V blade. That's really cool. So this is manufactured by Riot. Very cool. N1C is the model, but the name is the Cornerstone. And then we have a thing right there. If you're watching on TV, then you can scan that. I don't know what that is. But their website is numbknives.com. So we have the Cornerstone. Now, if you paid attention to those stickers, it says powered by the pinch lock. Patent pending. What is the pinch lock? I love new locking systems. I love it. They are honestly the most interesting thing in our knife market currently, right? When some company develops a new system, I'm gonna assume here. How do you operate though? So black DLC with textured tie, very nice looking, excellent. Medium retention, maybe medium heavy retention pocket clip, very cool. Let's open this guy up. Okay, feels excellent. Whatever's creating the detent, I assume you pinch it. Serial number 5 DLC blade. Very handsome. Love the little thumb notch jimping up there. That's a nice little touch with the little nesting zone. Like it's the little, kind of concave area, I guess, for your finger. I love that. That's very cool. Makes it really comfortable to do draw cuts from here. Of course, you can come up here too. So do we pinch? Oh, we do. That is a very different sensation. Oh my goodness. What is creating the detent? How interesting. So when we push, they let up? The detent balls let up? Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I really want to know what's going on the inside of this. I think the best way to do that is to take it apart. Okay, we are in, and that was not bad at all. We had a T10 pivot, T8 body screws and pocket clip screws, and then there was a T6 screw for the button cover, which is right here. So it's like there's two little pegs, and they stick in to this guy right here. So when you push on that, you can see there's two little, I guess there's a wing on each side, and as you push, the pressure from the detent ball is released and allows the blade to drop. So that means that the locking area of the knife is here. It has twin lock faces. So 2 locking tabs. Interesting. Now, I don't know. I mean, the engagement is like 2 different, I don't know if I want to call it a liner. It's a locking tab is what it is, I guess. It makes it very fun to manipulate. I would guess, like, I'm not a pro in this department, right? I don't do a lot of like crazy extensive testing.
I would venture to guess that the way that this engages makes it probably more reliable than a plunge lock. Maybe it's the same as or a little better than a liner lock. I'm not really sure. It also engages, let's see if I can show it, since we have one side still engaged. Yeah, okay, so this does technically engage the way that a compression lock engages. I'm not saying it is a compression lock. I'm saying it's behind the blade, like as the blade is locked out this way, it's behind it rather than underneath it. So we're just guessing right now because this is an unboxing and first impressions. I don't have like all of the technical details. I'm just showing this to you guys. Obviously, when I do the review, then we can go more in depth. But this is kind of how I like to do this, just kind of explore and discover. And you know, a lot of times when I do it this way, there's little things that I miss, but it gives the knife maker the opportunity to pop down into the comment section and clarify and be part of that direct conversation with people. So I urge you to go down there and see if there's anything that I'm missing here. But this is really, really cool. I definitely have never seen anything like this. So let's go ahead and, you know, I skipped over the disassembly there. But I think what I'd like to do this time is actually reassemble it so that you guys can watch me do it. There's a little collar here, like a little pivot collar that came out with it. And I'm not sure if I just put it in upside down, so I'd like to actually flip it over and see if it looks better or seems more natural the other way. And I think yeah, I think so. But I think that this might actually go in first. Is that how it would be? Probably like you put it like this. We'll put it in this way first and then put the pivot on top. That's definitely how it's supposed to go, just like that. So we're going to put this back down on top here, and then I'm going to use this T10 to just sort of not tighten it all the way, but I'm just going to get this in place. And then we're going to use the T8 right here and get that one in. And then I want to do the button. So far, though, this is very, very simple. It's one thing when we have a newer locking system that's like interesting and it engages in a way that's different, right? Or it actuates in a way that is different. And I think that's cool. I'm wondering why here we are not, we're not going all the way. Do I not have the frame all the way down? Maybe we just need to tighten that a little bit more. But I'll come back to that. That screw not wanting to completely engage there. But anyways, it's one thing to have a new locking system that engages in a way that's unique or different than what we typically see. But it's another thing, you know, to have a knife that is easy to disassemble and reassemble, which so far it is. Is this the T6? Yeah, that is. I'm sorry. I just realized the reason that screw probably didn't go all the way in is because my my T6 bit was just spinning in there. Now it's all the way down. So this other one here is the T6, which we need to use for this screw that holds in the button here. So the button is on there, and we'll just put that screw right there. I wonder what the reason is for the cover plate on the button. Maybe just to help it extend out a little bit more? I don't know. But now I guess we are back to operational. Yeah, okay. So you push the button there and it drops. Very cool. It does feel very solid. I'll give it a little bit of a light, like not super intense spine whack test here in just a moment. I'm going to immediately carry this because I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, the new locking systems are always just like so interesting to me. Switch that back out. Go to T8. Yeah, this is nice and easy to disassemble. I like that. This is nested as well, and I believe, yeah, this is an ambidextrous locking system, so of course we would want mounting positions on both sides, and that looks like that is absolutely the case there. So put this back in, and we've got that nice and tight now. The body screws, I think, or the body screw, really, because we didn't have to take out the filler tab screws. Is this supposed, that feels right. Okay, so we're locking out solid, absolutely. And, oh, we're back to center. I might have over-tightened it slightly. No, that looks pretty good to me, guys. Yeah. even dragging on the two detent balls, whenever I hear two detent balls, whenever I hear two detent balls, it just sounds funny. Whenever somebody says it, I'm like, oh, so it's going to drag, like it's not going to be smooth. Well, I mean, the tabs allow it to lift completely off the blade, right? That's good enough for me. Good enough for me. If it can do that, I'm good with it. I've had plunge locks fail with much less. I'm going to guess this is still in prototype form. Boy, I like that. That's nice. Because you still get to push a button, right? Testing at different amounts of force for stick. Nothing. Little hint of it maybe here and there. Not really, though. Yeah. How about, ooh, yeah, rolling it out, no problem. Really rolling it out great. How about the front flipper? No problem. It really does feel good. I wonder if, so both detent balls are actually engaging and create, it really is a double engaging detent in the closed position. This is cool. I love new stuff. I wish we had some jimping right here, but I think it's fine that it's up here too. I mean, like, I don't know how, I always say that, like, I want that lock in behind that harpoon notch, but I love the blade shape. I love the look of it. It's super cool. It's not trying to be anything ultra spectacular in the profile, but it is definitely different in the way that the two tabs engage. Nothing like this has ever existed, and the closest thing that I can think of is not at all the same thing. But if you remember back in 2000, oh boy, was it 2015 or so? It was a Benchmade automatic that had buttons on both sides. The ABP, the APBs, was it the 6800? I don't know. Maybe I'm making up numbers and letters. But anyways, there does exist a Benchmade automatic knife where you could deploy the blade by pushing a button on either side. This is, of course, completely and totally different than the system we're seeing here, but that's the only other time I've seen something responsible for interacting with the blade at all on both sides of the knife. He did a good job in making this feel very natural. The top of this button sticks out just a little bit, and it's angled. I think maybe you could, I don't know, like, it feels really good the way that it is, right? You push in, and it doesn't take much. Now, if you push one in, yeah, obviously it doesn't disengage because the other one's still there. So, choking up and squeezing. Is it possible to disengage the knife this way? Squeezing. So I'm squeezing and interacting here, but not on this one. I choke up, my index finger's here, and pushing that. I can't get it naturally. Choking up and pushing one button. Maybe right there. So now this is not a deal breaker. I'm just letting you know in a certain position it is possible to grip the knife during use and push both of the buttons, but you need to be cognizant as far as where your fingers are. The only circumstance where that might happen is when you are choked up in a hammer grip and your fingers are directly onto, like, if I do this normally, yeah, I'd have to squeeze it really hard, but I can, right? I'd have to squeeze it really hard. You have to almost be intentionally doing it. Outside of that, though, no, right? I think you're good. Right and left-handed people will have an identical experience here. Identical. I was about to say that you could raise this a little bit to make it a little bit easier to interact with, but I can see why he didn't do that. And it's I'm going to guess it's probably because of exactly what I was talking about there. He wanted to eliminate as many possible circumstances where natural grip zones would disengage the locking system when you don't want it to. So I think recessing them is, as much as he can is probably a pretty good idea. In the locked position, they look like they stick out a ton, but realistically, it's just that top part because you see it's sort of like it's angled down into the frame. I don't know. I like this a lot. I think this is really cool. I can't wait to EDC it and use it naturally and just kind of tell you guys what I think. But the detent feels good. You have that nice click. The lock feels good. Very solid. Double engagement there on that that twin locking face. It's kind of, it's not a huge amount like a huge area for the locks, but the lock faces are steel, so it's not likely they're going to move much anyway. I think this is neat. I think people are really going to like this. This is a fun one, really cool. Definitely one of the most, if not the most unique locking system I've seen in 2025. I hope this is a 2025 release. I hope we're going to be able to see this. People are actually going to be able to at least pre-order it, maybe even get your hands on it in 2025. But that's it for the unboxing. Expect a full review. Very, very cool stuff from Numb Knifeworks. Again, their website and eventually where you can pre-order it down in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.